Have you ever reached the end of your day, your mind still racing, buzzing with the phantom notifications of your phone and the endless loop of worries and what-ifs? Have you ever collapsed into bed, feeling not a sense of accomplishment, but a vague, gnawing anxiety that the day was somehow lost, that you were busy but not productive, connected but not present? You feel the weight of the hours behind you and the dread of the hours to come? And sleep, when it finally arrives, is a shallow, restless escape rather than a deep, restorative peace. We place so much emphasis on how we start our day. We craft morning routines with military precision, believing that the first hour dictates the next 23. But the great Stoic philosophers, the masters of the human soul, knew a deeper truth. The way you end your day is just as, if not more, critical than how you begin it. The evening is not merely a conclusion, it is a preparation. It is the sacred time when you consolidate your gains, learn from your losses, and fortify your mind for the battles and opportunities of tomorrow. Today, we will explore a powerful evening ritual grounded in 6 principles of Stoic wisdom. This is not about adding more chores to your list. It is about a deliberate, mindful transition from the chaos of the external world to the order of your inner citadel. This is how you do more than just end your day. This is how you change your life, one night at a time. And if you stay until the end, I will share with you a powerful ancient parable that perfectly captures this episode. Now, let's dive into these principles that will change your life. Principle 1, the digital detox. The Stoics called the mind the inner citadel, a fortress of reason and tranquility that no external event could breach. Epictetus, a man who was born a slave and rose to become one of antiquity's most revered teachers, taught that our primary task in life is to distinguish between what we can control and what we cannot. He said, "The chief task in life is simply this, to identify and separate matters so that I can say clearly to myself which are externals not under my control and which have to do with the choices I actually control." In our modern world, there is no greater assault on our inner citadel than the relentless barrage of digital information. Our phones, tablets, and screens are portals to a universe of externals, a constant stream of opinions, outrage, and demands that are not our own and are far beyond our control. Each notification, each scroll, each click is a small surrender of our most precious resource, our attention. We are giving away our power to choose what enters our minds. An evening spent bathed in the blue light of a screen is an evening spent leaving the gates of your fortress wide open for any passing army to wander in and cause havoc. The Stoic practice of a digital detox is an act of reclaiming sovereignty over your mind. An hour or two before you intend to sleep, make the decision to power down. Place your phone in another room, turn off the television, close the laptop. This way you are actually liberating yourself. You are creating a space of silence, a vacuum into which your own thoughts, your own reflections can finally expand. In this quiet, you stop reacting to the world and start responding to yourself. This is the first and most crucial step in preparing the ground for true rest and self-examination. You are choosing to guard your mind, just as a sentinel guards a city. Principle 2, light stretching. Once you have secured the peace of your mind, you must attend to its vessel. Our second principle is light stretching, or what the Stoics might have called honoring the body that carries the soul. The Stoics were not ascetics who despised the body. They understood it as the instrument through which we enact our will and virtue in the world. A body tense with the stresses of the day is a poor home for a tranquil mind. Physical tension and mental tension are two sides of the same coin. You cannot untie the knots in your mind while the knots in your muscles remain. Marcus Aurelius, the Roman emperor and philosopher, wrote in his private meditations, "The soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts." We can extend this wisdom. The mind is colored by the state of the body. If your shoulders are hunched with worry, your jaw is clenched with frustration, and your back aches with the burden of your responsibilities, your thoughts will inevitably reflect this physical state of siege. The evening stretch is not a workout. It is a mindful dialogue with your body. It is a practice of presence. As you gently lengthen your limbs, focus on the sensation. Feel the release in your hamstrings, the opening in your chest, the softening of your neck. Breathe into the tension and, as you exhale, consciously let it go. This is a physical manifestation of the Stoic practice of letting go of what is beyond your control. You are simply being present with your physical self, thanking it for carrying you through the day and releasing the physical residue of your struggles. This simple act of physical care is a profound act of mental hygiene. It prepares the body for rest, which in turn allows the mind to descend into the deeper, more restorative stages of sleep, where the true work of recovery and consolidation happens. Principle 3. The warm shower. With the mind quieted and the body eased, we move to our third principle, taking a warm shower. This is far more than a simple act of hygiene. For the Stoic, it is a ritual of purification. Throughout the day, we accumulate more than just physical grime. We accumulate the residue of difficult conversations, the weight of unmet expectations, the dust of our own frustrations and failures. The warm shower is a conscious act of washing it all away. Seneca, a man of immense wealth and power who preached the virtues of a simple life, often wrote about the importance of cleansing rituals. He saw each day as a life in miniature, with a birth in the morning and a small death at night. The evening shower, then, becomes a powerful symbolic act. As the water cascades over you, visualize it washing away not just the sweat of your labor, but the anxiety of your mind. Feel the day's burdens dissolving and flowing down the drain. This is an exercise in mindfulness. Instead of letting your mind race, bring your full attention to the physical sensations. The warmth of the water, the scent of the soap, the feeling of being cleansed and renewed. On a physiological level, a warm shower before bed helps to lower your core body temperature after you get out, which signals to your body that it is time for sleep. But its psychological power is even greater. It is a clear demarcation, a boundary between the active, striving part of your day and the passive, receptive part. You step into the shower as the person who toiled and struggled, and you step out as the person who is ready to rest and reflect. You are performing a small baptism, letting go of the person you were today so that you can be reborn, refreshed, and ready for the person you choose to be tomorrow. It is a ritual of closure, allowing you to enter the final stages of your evening with a clean slate, both physically and mentally. Principle 4. The daily review. This is the practice that separates a life of aimless drifting from a life of purposeful growth. This is the philosopher's journal, the commander's debrief, the craftsman's final inspection. Seneca described his own nightly routine in a letter, a practice he learned from his teacher. He wrote, "When the light has been removed and my wife has fallen silent, I examine my entire day and go back over what I've done and said, hiding nothing from myself, passing nothing by." This is a calm, objective, and compassionate audit of your own actions, guided by your own values. The process is simple and can be done in your mind or in a journal. You ask yourself 3 questions. First, what did I do wrong today? Where did I fall short of my own principles? Was I impatient with a colleague? Did I indulge in gossip? Did I procrastinate on an important task? You identify these moments not to punish yourself, but to understand yourself. You look at the action without judgment, as a scientist would look at data. Second, what did I do right today? Where did I act in accordance with my highest self? Did I show courage when I was afraid? Did I act with kindness when it would have been easier to be cold? Did I maintain my composure in a moment of chaos? Acknowledging these victories, no matter how small, is crucial. It reinforces virtuous behavior and reminds you that even on difficult days, you are capable of goodness and strength. Finally, and most importantly, what could I have done differently? What duties were left undone? This question transforms the review from a mere report card into a strategic plan. By analyzing your missteps and successes, you formulate a better strategy for tomorrow. If you were impatient, you can resolve to practice a moment of pause tomorrow. If you acted with courage, you can recognize the feeling and know you can call upon it again. This nightly review is the engine of self-improvement. It ensures that your days do not simply blur into one another, but that each day becomes a lesson, a stepping stone making you wiser, stronger, and more virtuous than the day before. It is the ultimate act of taking responsibility for your own character. Principle 5. Gratitude. After you have reviewed your actions, it is time to review your blessings. The Stoic practice of gratitude is profoundly different from the modern, superficial idea of positive thinking. It is not about ignoring pain, struggle, or injustice. It is about developing the resilience to find value and fortune even in the face of hardship. It is the discipline of appreciating what you have right now, rather than pining for what you lack. Marcus Aurelius reminded himself, "When you arise in the morning, think of what a precious privilege it is to be alive, to breathe, to think, to enjoy, to love." We can adapt this for the evening. As you prepare for sleep, think of what a precious privilege it was to have lived this day. Your nightly review may have shown you flaws and failures, but the very fact that you were there to experience them is a gift. The practice is simple. Before you close your eyes, bring to mind 3 specific things from your day for which you are truly grateful. Be specific. Don't just say, "I'm grateful for my family." Say, "I am grateful for the way my child laughed during dinner." Don't just say, "I'm grateful for my job." Say, "I am grateful for the moment of focus I found this afternoon that allowed me to solve a difficult problem." It could be the taste of your meal, the comfort of your bed, a kind word from a stranger, or even the strength you discovered in overcoming a challenge. This practice rewires your brain. It trains you to seek out the good. It anchors you in the present reality of your life and protects you from the poison of envy and desire. By ending your day in gratitude, you are affirming that this day, with all its imperfections and struggles, was worthwhile. You are accepting your life as it is, and in that acceptance, you find a profound and unshakable contentment. Principle 6. Connection with loved ones. Finally, we arrive at our 6th principle, a practice that reminds us that the Stoic path is not one of solitary isolation. There is a common misconception of the Stoic as a cold, emotionless statue detached from human affairs. This is a profound misunderstanding. The Stoics taught the concept of oikiosis, the fundamental understanding that we are social creatures by nature, designed to live and work together. Our duties are not just to ourselves, but to our fellow human beings, starting with those closest to us. Your evening ritual should include a moment of genuine present connection. This is not about scrolling through social media side by side on the couch. It is about putting down your distractions, turning to your partner, your child, or a friend, and offering them the most valuable gift you possess, your undivided attention. Ask about their day and truly listen to the answer. Share a thought or a feeling from your own day, not as a complaint, but as a shared experience. This is the practice of virtue in its most intimate form. It is an act of justice, giving another person the attention they are due. It is an act of kindness, showing that you care. It is an act of wisdom, recognizing that our relationships are the primary source of meaning and support in our lives. This connection takes you out of the echo chamber of your own mind. It reminds you that you are part of a larger whole, that your struggles are not yours alone, and that your joys are sweeter when they are shared. It reinforces the bonds of community and love that are the true wealth of a human life. It is the final, perfect step in your evening ritual, turning your focus from the inner self to your place in the human family before you drift into sleep. Now, before you go, let me share with you an ancient story that illustrates this episode, the parable of the wise captain. There was once a wise sea captain, renowned for his skill in navigating the most treacherous waters. Younger sailors marveled at how he was never caught off guard by a sudden storm, nor did he ever lose her way in the fog. One young sailor, hoping to learn his secret, watched him closely. He saw that his most important work was not done at the helm during the day, but in her cabin each night. Every evening, without fail, after the ship was anchored and the crew was at rest, the captain would light a single oil lamp. He would unroll the day's sea charts and open a thick, worn logbook and made notes. Finally, the sailor's curiosity overcame him. "Captain," he asked, "what do you write every night? The journey is over for the day. Surely it is time for rest." The captain looked up and beckoned him closer. "This," he said, pointing to a mark on the chart, "is where a hidden current tried to pull us off course. I note its location, so I will be prepared for it on our return. That is a lesson in vigilance." He then pointed to another section. Here, a favorable wind filled our sails and pushed us ahead of schedule. I note the conditions that brought it, so I might recognize such an opportunity again. That is a lesson in gratitude. Then he tapped a long entry in her logbook. And this, he said softly, is an account of a harsh word I gave to a crewman who made a mistake. I write it down not to dwell on my error, but to remind myself that the morale of my crew is as vital as the strength of my ship. That is a lesson in leadership. He closed the book and looked the young sailor in the eye. The sea will do what it will. The winds and the tides are not mine to command. But my response to them, my preparedness, my own character, that is the one ship I am truly the captain of. This logbook does not change the waters we sail today. It ensures I am a wiser captain for the waters we will sail tomorrow. The captain's wisdom is the wisdom of the Stoics, and it is now yours to command. Your life is the voyage, your character is the ship. This evening ritual is your logbook. It is the sacred practice of taking the helm of your own existence. Do not let your days simply happen to you. Do not drift into sleep on a tide of distraction and anxiety. Seize these final hours. Use them to learn, to release, to appreciate, and to connect. Build your inner citadel, strengthen your resolve, and prepare yourself for the dawn. The journey to a better life, a life of purpose and tranquility, does not begin with a grand gesture tomorrow. It begins with a quiet choice tonight.